Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is another episode of Jessi's Little Garden, and today we will be working on my indoor garden here with my fiddle leaf figs. This is Anthony and this is Josephine. I got Josephine a couple of weeks before I went and got Anthony. All right, grab your cup of tea and let's get gardening. So everyone is obsessed with getting a fiddle leaf fig. They grow absolutely gorgeously. They can be several feet tall. They can climb a whole room, curve their way around a window, and they're just absolutely beautiful trees. As you can see, these are young trees. They're about 2 to 3 feet tall each, and they're still in their starter little pot that I received them in, and I actually got them online from Costa Farms and they sent them to my house. This one here is the one that I received first, and she had a lot of brown spots everywhere and looks like she wasn't doing too well, so I contacted them and then they sent me Anthony here. And so as you can still see, they both look really great. You know, I was able to nurse this one back to health, but she has lost lots of leaves. She was much fuller when I got her. And Anthony also ended up losing leaves, but he's still a much fuller plant. Anyway, so I think today we're going to give them a little bit of, oh, there was a little gnat. Today we're going to give them a little bit of TLC. I actually haven't touched these since I think sometime in May 12th. I have a little app that I use to keep track of all the things to do. And when I first got these, I was taking care of them every 2 weeks. I was fertilizing them or giving them some water and wiping down their leaves. But as I said, they were dropping so many leaves, so I thought, you know, maybe I should just try leaving them alone for a little while. So I did. I left them alone for almost 2 months now, and they have dropped very few leaves in that time. Anthony dropped 2 leaves yesterday, or 1 leaf yesterday and 1 leaf today, and that is what gave me the sign that maybe he's thirsty and ready for some TLC today. So I thought I would hop on and do this video and give you guys some tips on how to love your fiddle leaf fig. Okay, so there are 3 things that we need to do to take care of our fiddle leaf figs properly so that they continue to grow and drop fewer leaves. So one thing is making sure that their leaves stay as clean as possible. They do pick up dust and somehow they get dirt on them. So we're going to put on some gloves. I have a damp cloth, and we're going to wipe off every single leaf as delicately as possible so they're nice and clean and shiny. I have given them a bath before in neem oil, which they absolutely love as well, but I don't think I should take them outside today to do all of that, so we're just going to wipe them down with a damp cloth. The next thing that we need to do is water them, or if it's time to fertilize them. So I have some fertilizer here, and I have this jar to help measure it, and we'll do that in a little bit as well. And then if there are any leaves that look like they are already dying, then it's best to remove those leaves, because all they do is take away the good energy from the plant, and it's better to just let that energy go to the other healthier leaves. All right, let's get started. Okay, so I've gotten my gloves on, I've got my damp towel here. I pulled Josephine a little bit closer, and hopefully you can tell, you see there are some things on her leaves. She has a little bit of dust, a little bit of dirt, but we're going to give her a nice little wipe up so that she's going to be able to take full advantage of photosynthesis. So I'm gonna get in here. And you see this leaf, I'm just gonna hold it so delicately and just wipe it off. Sometimes I do accidentally pull leaves off when I'm doing this because they are very delicate, but you do your best not to. There's a lot of dirt on this one. I always wonder, how does dirt even get up here. Like, how does that even happen? Make sure I get in all the little grooves and just clean her up nicely. A lot of things kind of get stuck back there. Anyway, I'm just going to go all the way around and wipe off every single leaf like that. Just delicately wipe it off, and then I'll be right back. Hey, so I just finished cleaning up Josephine, and so now all of her leaves are nice and clean. My towel got a bit dirty, you probably can't really tell, but she definitely needed a little bit of a wipe up, and I'm actually seeing a little bit more now. But I just wanted to point out that, you know, on some of these bigger leaves, if you can see, like the really big one here up at the top, they get things on the underside of them as well. And you know, some of the stuff on here might not be dirt. It could be eggs from like bugs that are trying to eat the leaves or give the plant a fungus. So it's important to wipe off the leaves regularly to remove any eggs or anything that is trying to take over the plant. Like for example, there's this spot here that I didn't see. You see, it looks like something's going on. I'm going to go ahead and try to wipe that off as well. And then always make sure that I'm not going to use the same towel to wipe off Anthony, because we don't want to transfer anything that might have been on Josephine to him. All right, I'll be right back. That's much better. Hey, so now we've gotten Josephine all cleaned up. I went back over her and cleaned the underside of all of the leaves. So now she's nice and shiny and happy and cleaned up. We just need to water her. But first I'm gonna go over here to Anthony and I'm going to wipe him up as well. He's really dusty. I don't know if you can see. He's quite dusty, so I'm going to go ahead and get that dust off as well. It looks like his under leaves aren't quite as dirty. Oh, there's a little bit going on underneath as well, so we'll get him cleaned up. I got a paper towel to just clean him up because the rag, I don't want to transfer what might have been eggs or something from Josephine over to him. So I'm going to go ahead and clean him up. And a lot of things like to kind of get stuck in the back close to the branch. So I try to get that as well. And I just go over every single leaf. And then for the under part, I have to get down under here like this to see where it looks like there's something on his leaf. And then I just gently try to get it off. Sometimes you do break leaves off when you do this, but it has to be done if you really want to keep your fiddle leaf fig for many, many, many more years to come. I'm getting a lot of dirt or whatever this is off, so that's good. All right, I'm gonna finish this up and then I'll be right back. So I want to show you the underside of one of the leaves. There's a lot of something, either dirt or eggs, all underneath this leaf here. Hopefully you can see it. And so I'm just going to just delicately go under and wipe it off. Just kind of wiping it off, Some of this might fall on the leaf right below it, so then I'll go wipe the tops of those off again too. But you know, you just have to take your time and get it all wiped off. Yeah, there's a bunch up there for some reason. This is pretty high up on the plant too, but you know, they're living things. So they get a little dirty, even though he's sitting right here next to my desk every day, hanging out. Okay, much better. All right, I got a lot off there. I think I'm gonna go get a fresh paper towel. So they're all shiny and clean and happy. I'm like, I'm in a forest now. Anyway, I love it. So now it's time to give them some water and some fertilizer. So the first thing is, it's really important to understand if the fig is thirsty. Like I said, I was watering them every 2 weeks and then they were dropping tons of leaves. I thought I was measuring well with my finger, so I actually ended up realizing that I had overwatered them. I got one of these meters that you can stick in the soil and it can tell like down in the soil like if it's really moist or not. So they weren't liking all the moisture and I was kind of scared that I had killed them. So I just poked a lot of holes in the soil so that it could kind of like aerate itself. And I left them alone for a couple of months and I think it's finally dried out. Like I can feel like kind of down here, this feels pretty dry. When I stick my finger in the soil, it feels dry. Over here with Anthony, you know, it's really dry, like really dry, like sand dry. So they still have like little baby leaves growing, so they're not dead, they're not like struggling or anything, but I think it's time, it's finally time to give them a little bit of fertilizer, which means new growth, some food for the babies. So I have this indoor fertilizer and I really like this because it's organic and it says that it's houseplant food for organic gardening, mixed with water, feeds instantly, easy to measure, no mess. So I always have to read the instructions every time because I don't want to mess it up, and I have like 5 different types of fertilizers, so I can't keep track. So for this one it says, shake well prior to mixing with water. Mix at a rate of 1/2 cup per quart of water. It is best to add concentrate and then add water for thorough mixing, and thoroughly drench the soil of the plant. Repeat every 2 to 4 weeks. Okay, so it says shake well. I'm gonna move Josephine over a little bit. Okay, let's shake it really good. This stuff smells too, so. All right, so I shook it and then it says 1/2 cup per quart of water. So a quart is 2 pints. I usually use a smaller jar, but it's outside in the garden, so I'm using this big one today. So it has cups and pints, and 2 pints is right here, which is the same as 4 cups. So I have to do 1/2 cup and then fill this up to that line. Shake it one more time. So I'm gonna go pour 1/2 cup in here. So pour that in there. Got it into the jar. Not waste any of the food. Put this lid back on. And so now I'm going to go, let's fill this up. It says 1/2 cup, which is 2 teaspoons per quart. And a quart is 2 pints. So I'm going to fill this up to the 2 pint line or 4 cup line. I'll be right back. Yay, the babies are finally fed and they're looking so good. He still looks better than ever. And Josephine is back in her spot, super happy, so I'm happy. I definitely suggest naming your plants. They're definitely a part of the family and you have to give them a lot of attention and care if you want them to live a long and healthy life. So if you're interested in seeing other things that are in my garden or picking up some other tips and tricks so as you build your garden, then make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. I am posting every single week and I already have several videos. I just got a banana tree, a goji berry tree. I have chamomile, lavender, pansies, all sorts of things that I'm working on. I might plant some okra soon too. So make sure you turn on the notification bell and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.